Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanamastu. Our grateful pranams to Bhagwan for this huge grace to make it possible for us to be here, gather together and sing His powerful name, His divine name. It would not be possible for ordinary people to be here, but for the grace of Bhagwan. This is no small grace. We could have found 100 excuses to keep away for personal transactions, emotions will come in the way, producing some reasonable excuses, and we would be carried away. When all these weaknesses are overcome, we finally sit before Bhagwan to sing His name. I think it is extraordinary grace, even if it is for 1 hour. Now today, we shall have a glimpse of the glory of His name, how it could be extended to our transformation. Radha Balaji from Vaisag. She said that she was always listening to the morning Nama Sankirtan, and she would be engaged in a house course, listening to it and singing with it. And she would also listen to the satsang, which she says found very useful. And she said she has heard of one particular story of Bhagwan's glory, where a man was riding a bicycle and he was going from one village to the other. And while doing, there was a heavy breeze, and his license of the vehicle was carried away by the wind and fell down near a bush. By the time he found it, it was lost. He came back all the way, searching, and he could not find it. He kept chanting the name and praying. But 1 year after, when he was passing by very casually, he found some paper there near some bush. And there was mud stain. Somehow it drew his attention, and then he found it was his license that he lost 1 year before. That none of the Nama chanting or prayer was a waste. That he did get it at long last. And then I had narrated another story of somebody keeping a file, a very important file, somewhere, in a specific place where he always kept. And one day, on an important meeting, when he wanted to take it, he found it gone. And he ransacked the whole place. He could not find it. But he started chanting, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. They are very important documents. Please get me the file. And 3 days after, he found the file in the same place where he found it gone. So she has this knowledge. And one day she got a phone call from her son from Bangalore, Amar Bharati, who said, a little desperately and breathlessly, "Ma, I have lost my wallet. I don't know where I placed it or misplaced it. I ransacked the whole house, but I cannot get it back." Then she advised him again, No, you search thoroughly. You search your vehicle also. You go to the office where you are seated and there also you search. Of course, he did for 1 week. He was searching. It was about this time last year, 2020, in June, he lost it. After 1 week of search, he gave up. Then his mother said, No, let's keep chanting Bhagwan's Nama and praying. Bhagwan will surely give it to us, as he has done in other cases. He wrote a prayer and kept it at the feet of Bhagwan. And then, of course, he was chanting. And back there, Vaisak, the mother, Radha, was also chanting. After 1 month, to be exact, it was on the 2nd of August, 2020, she got a phone call from her son saying jubilantly, Ma, I got it back. Now, of course, on inquiry, he said that he was searching for a key holder, and then he went near the showcase, and when he slid the glass door, suddenly he found that wallet sitting there, waiting for him, as though waiting for him. Now, what a wonder it was, because the very same place he had not searched, ransacked, and yet he could not see it 1 month back, and suddenly it had found its way to that place where he would not keep usually. In any case, he got it back, true to his mother's word. And Radha also narrated last time when she had come with her son and daughter-in-law that she had bought about half a kilo silver bowl to be handed over. It was meant for her daughter-in-law for some function. After buying, she had kept it in the bureau, locked it. She thought it was the only safe place. And there was another place where she used to keep other silver articles very carefully. But she thought this was separate and this was meant for the daughter-in-law's place, some ceremony that they would use it. So extra carefully, she had kept it in the bureau and locked it. To her great shock, when it was needed, she opened the bureau only to find it gone. What a shock it was. Now again, like her son, she searched and searched and searched everywhere as thoroughly as she could. Yet, it was nowhere to be seen. Mysteriously, it had disappeared. There was no one who could possibly take it. In any case, she knew that she had the refuge of Bhagwan's holy feet and his name. Truly, his name is our holy refuge. And she started chanting and praying and chanting and praying. 1 month after, when she opened casually for some of those silver articles where she kept them, she found this sitting there waiting for her, just as the ballad. Looked as though it was waiting for Amar Bharati to reach out. Here was this. Now she was astounded. How could this be? She had searched the very same place several times and she never found it before. She understood Bhagwan's Nama could do anything. The lost articles mysteriously are brought back by the grace of Bhagwan, by the name of Bhagwan. How wonderful it is. It gives us hope and courage because we too have lost our identity. Our true identity is our Swarupa. We are the Atman. We are not the body. We are always, by the will of God, we connect ourselves to the body and identify ourselves with it. With the result, we always say, I'm so and so. These are my parents. This is my family name. We are very proud to say that. These are my children. These are my people. These are my relatives. I am so and so. This I am so and so is the only identity we are able to remember. Now I remember once, I have of course narrated all this before, in Sannadhi Street house, when I had been there was a lady, an old lady, who was sitting opposite to Bhagwan and was crying so much. Now from my place, I felt that she had lost somebody. Then Bhagwan had a knack of bringing out people's thoughts so that people were around him would know. He was asking her, Amma, please say what really happened. You narrated. Once again. And then she said that she had kept some precious jewels in a packet in the cupboard in her house in Chennai. And she found it gone after quite some time when she opened the bureau. She lost it. She inquired everywhere, everyone around. But there was no way she could find it. There was no clue at all. And as soon as she said it, she started crying again because her grief was overtaking. Then Bhagwan turned to me and said, Devaki, start the name. So of course, we started singing Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jai Guru. The usual tune. and Bhagwan asked her to join. We were singing together for some time. Then suddenly again she stopped singing and started to cry. Then Bhagwan said, "Please join, sing the name." She joined for a little while, and again the grief took over. So this was going on for 1, 2, 3 times, and then Bhagwan turned to me and said, "Look, this beggar is giving her the crown jewel, but she is remembering only her lost gold jewels. What to do?" This is our state also today. We always find something to grieve us, to feel sorry about something or the other, and then complain and lose even the little peace of mind we already possess. Now, Bhagwan has given us all his Divya Nama, the crown jewel. This is the highest jewel that we could have, and that has been so magnanimously, generously handed over to us by our Gurudev, who is none other than Bhagwan. Instead of putting it to use, we voice out only grievances. That apart, as he said in the beginning, all the Upanishads declare, and all the great, great masters who have experienced it and are established in it, say that you are that Tattvamasi. I am that. And what is that? The supreme divinity which is seated inside you. The pure awareness. Empty of thoughts. It's not empty, it is full with Ananda. It is full with Chit, Chaitanya. This pure awareness is what we call Paramatma, the Supreme Soul. And the Supreme Soul is what we are, our true identity. Is this I am, not this limited consciousness filled with this thought and that thought, this talk and that talk, this thing and that thing. My consciousness is filled with so many things. We remember we dwell only on those things. We forget the consciousness that holds these things, that brings them to our light. Little realizing that I am that consciousness holding all those thoughts and articles and people. This is our true identity. There's a story which Bhagwan used to narrate, that there was a lion cub left alone. As soon as the mother lion, the lioness, gave birth to the cub, it died. Now soon the cub was alone. It's a flock of sheep going that way, and then it went and joined. And after that, the lion cub, he did not know it was lion and different. It looked different, it acted different, but he did not know them. It acquired all the habits of the goat, thinking that it was a sheep. So it would cry out like every other sheep. It would eat the grass. It would do everything just as the other sheep did. One day, a lion came that side, and all the goats ran away, frightened. Whereas this cub, it is its nature not to be afraid of any animal. So suddenly it found itself left alone and was looking upon a strange animal. Little realizing it looked very much like the other lion. Now the other lion found the situation, immediately dragged this lion cub and then took it to a well with water. The water was clear and stagnant. So it just looked down, and the cub also looked down, and then the cub understood that it looked like the other one, that it is not a sheep but a lion. This is the story narrated by Bhagwan now and then, saying that just as the cub did not know it was a lion and joined the goats, behaving like goats, crying out like a goat, eating like a goat, it took another lion to come to bring it to senses. Now we have our Guru, Gurunath, Bhagwan, Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar, who has come to show who we are, to find our true self, not the ego self, the identity that we have put on, connected with body. The great master, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, came down to the earth only to show who we are. And to know who we are, he has prescribed his name, the Guru Mantra. So the more and more we chant, there will be less and less complaint or grievance about anything. And finally, it purifies our entire being. And in an instant, we will know for sure who we are, what our true identity is. So let's keep chanting the name, which is Kalpataru, the wish-fulfilling tree for us. And so, we will have to remember this teaching of Bhagwan. Keep chanting as much as we can his name. No single nama goes waste. Every nama does its transforming work. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says that people are ready to shed pots and pots of tears for the relatives and friends. But how many have tears thinking of God? How many cry for God? So let's remember all this. And now we shall offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. We beg you, Bhagwan, we can only beg you, and that 1,000,000 times, for your immediate divine intervention and free the entire humanity from the virulent grip of these viruses and bring back a dharmic normalcy in all aspects of life, everywhere. We beg you, Bhagwan, because we can only beg you again and again 1,000,000 times to wipe out all the negativities from the hearts of people, arrest the rapid spread of the diseases, enter the appropriate medicines to kill the entire crowd of viruses, and all those great, great people who are in the field fighting the disease at the very risk of their lives for the sake of others. Please give them protection and all-round welfare. We also beg you, Bhagwan, to give a lift to our economy. And above all, please bless us with constant remembrance of your name. Please bless us to be good and efficient instrument in your hands to go about our life as an offering to you. And finally, that final blessing, that huge, supreme blessing for our complete purification. When we would know instantly our true identity, I am that. I alone exist. I am the cosmic controller. This is what Bhagwan used to declare. In those rare moments of self-revelation, he would declare to the intimate few. We beg you, Bhagwan, a zillion times for this to become true in our lives too. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.